Good morning, I'm also Park with the Guyton Police Department. Any reason you ran that stop sign right there?
What stop sign?
The one right there at the Parkers.
One that I sat there for like 5 minutes waiting for traffic after it?
Your driver's license.
I do.
Right. Mind getting it?
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, shoot. I need a debit card, huh?
I don't want that. Just give me a second, okay?
Yeah, no problem.
All right, here you go, Mr. Harville. Please be more careful at the stop signs, okay?
I got you. Hey, man. You know I got a dash cam, right?
That's fine.
Okay.
It's a stop sign right there, and you have a dash cam. I'm going to show you running the stop sign.
Okay.
Okay. Have a good day.
You too.
In this incident, a driver named Andy Harville is pulled over by a police officer named Marcus Parker. The officer falsely accuses Harville of not fully stopping at a stop sign. Harville informs the officer that the entire incident is being recorded on his dash cam. Despite being informed about the recording, the officer continues to make false accusations and insists that Harville did not come to a complete stop. However, the dash cam footage later proves the officer wrong. It clearly shows that Harville did stop for about a minute at the stop sign and was driving safely. It is revealed that Officer Marcus Parker has a history of misconduct. He had previously been put on administrative leave from a different police department for driving under the influence. He had driven home in his patrol car after consuming multiple drinks at a local restaurant while off duty. Parker had been dishonest with his supervisors about the incident before eventually resigning and joining the Guyton Police Department. The Guyton Police Department itself has concerning issues. They lack important policies regarding the use of body and dash cams, as well as protocols for the use of force, excessive force arrests, and interactions with the public. The absence of these policies undermines citizen protection and fails to provide clear guidelines for police officers. Given these circumstances, there is a call for accountability and reform within the Guyton Police Department. The officer involved, Marcus Parker, should face consequences for his misconduct. Additionally, the department needs to implement necessary reforms for better serving and protecting the citizens under their jurisdiction. Now let's move to another video.
He's being detained right now for QX. No, I'm talking to Hernandez. I know.
Checking for an aggressive white female, unknown weapons, wearing a white shirt, blue jeans, making threats to harm himself.
Samuel Scott Jr.'s incident began when his car, a 2006 black Jeep Compass, was stolen from outside his aunt's house in Buena Vista in Miami.
¿Pero qué? ¿Tú eres un sargento? Ok, yo tengo a mi sargento. All right? Okay?
After the theft, Scott immediately called the Miami Police Department to report the incident and seek assistance in recovering a stolen vehicle. However, instead of receiving help, Scott found himself wrongfully detained and arrested by the same officers he had called. Despite being a victim of a crime, the police officers believe Scott was the perpetrator based on a description that matched his appearance. Scott, who is a black man, was wearing a dark-colored shirt over a white undershirt at the time. In a body camera footage obtained by the media, Scott can be seen telling the officers that the description of the person who took off in his car was similar to his own, but he insisted that they had the wrong person.
I went over there to see the kids and everything. My kids are...
Where are your kids?
I was with them.
Where are
They were over there, what's the name? They were over at my cousin's house. So,
When?
huh?
When?
What? I've been over there since,
11 to
what? I want to say it
11
was
to
5:30, 6 o'clock. I actually walked back over here.
You have two IDs?
Yeah.
That's not good.
Well, one is an ID and one is a driver's license.
Okay.
All right.
Scott questioned why he would call the police if he had stolen his own car, and expressed his concern for his children who were left unattended while he's being questioned.
You know what's up, okay?
Okay.
You mind if I sit in your cars?
I really don't know
Bigger space.
what I did.
I really don't care, but... Alright, listen. I'm gonna reach your rights real quick. Alright?
I'm telling you guys got the wrong time. I can confirm where I was and I can even confirm my activities. I recently logged off for the weekend at my job.
Okay. At what time?
Roughly before I came over here, before I called you guys. But I'm telling you, you guys got the wrong guy.
Okay. The description of the guy that took off from your car is just like yours.
The officers proceeded to charge Scott with several offenses, including leaving the scene of an accident, false reporting of a crime, failure to carry a concealed weapon license, and possession of marijuana. However, these charges were later dropped by the Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office in November 2021, indicating that there was insufficient evidence to pursue the case against Scott.
To the time, I really just jumped out of the car to go see. That's it. If you want, like I said, we can go. Like, I had my kids and stuff like that, dropped them off, came over to say hi. And I don't know what happened. I mean, like I said, I know the people that stay across there, over here, all over the place. I don't know what happened. My car somebody jumped in, drove off. And I'm sorry, but I'm telling you, I didn't do it. I mean, literally, I mean, why would I call the police? I mean, I called because my car is stolen. I mean, how me and my kids are going to get home? My pillow, my work ID, my work stuff, all of that stuff is in there. Why would I? That's why I'm like, why am I in handcuffs? And if I'm calling them and I'm...
All right, just give me a second. You never been arrested before?
No.
Sure about that?
Yeah. Never been arrested. Ex-military. Never.
As a result of this wrongful arrest and detention, Samuel Scott Jr. is now suing the Miami PD and 5 specific officers involved in the incident. His lawsuit alleges unlawful search, false imprisonment, and unwarranted prosecution. Scott's attorney is seeking $500,000 in damages for the physical, emotional, and reputational harm caused by the incident. Let's now move to another video.
You ready? For what? Wait, he didn't do anything! For what? That's why you touching my son! He's in the car! My son is in the car! I don't want you to look after him! My son is in the car! No! Yeah, that was me! No one's gonna be hurt, just get out the car!
In this incident, the London Metropolitan Police pulled over 2 world-class athletes, and they have been accused of racial profiling. One of the athletes is Bianca Williams, a member of Great Britain's sprint team. According to Williams, the police officers approached their car aggressively and seemed ready to break the car window within seconds of their encounter. Ricardo dos Santos, who is Williams' partner and a record holder in the 400-meter event, denies the allegations of cannabis possession made by the police. He expresses feeling hurt and fearful as a result of the incident.
Guardale con la pistola che le punta.
Sì, basta che non appuntati qua, non ci voglio
Lo sto
molestare.
puntando, lo so che cosa sei, lì che sei. Fatti papà, fatti.
No, basta che non sparano.
Una
Che...
macchina nuova quella, lì che sei. Che c'è.
One other video surfaced showing AC Milan's Tom Way Bakayoko being detained and searched by police officers who had firearms drawn.
No, le vedo, le
Lei
vedo.
punta, oh.
Le vedo. C'è una visuale precisa proprio.
Ah, pensavano che fosse loro, che fosse...
However, Bakayoko was released after the officers recognized him as a famous footballer. The Milan police initially claimed that the check on Bakayoko was conducted with high security measures and justified by the context of the operation. However, they later apologized and released Bakayoko after realizing his identity. The police statement mentioned that the check was carried out in a manner consistent with the perceived danger, but the officer's shock upon recognizing Bakayoko suggests a potential misunderstanding or error in judgment.
It's quite unsafe for a woman to live in this world. The crimes against them are increasing day by day. They depend on and truly believe the cops to save their lives. But what if the same cops become the predator? Do you think there are perverts in the police department? Are they more dangerous than the criminals? On number 3, we have Braulio Gonzalez.
On the wrong side of the law, accused of a despicable crime.
This veteran officer allegedly fondled a little girl, and that child is no stranger to him.
Braulio was a resident of Miami-Dade and was a veteran police lieutenant. The heinous act took place in 2018 when he kidnapped and molested a child. The survivor was a child who was related to him. He took advantage of their family relations and molested the girl since she turned 8 years old. He continuously abused her for 2 years. At last, the survivor spoke out and the real fact of Broglio was revealed. When the survivor was just 8 years old, Gonzalez took his gun and pointed it at her. She was then made to comply with his conditions, and then he kept on molesting her till her parents came back home. He threatened her several times after that to make sure she doesn't utter a word to her parents. The poor child was traumatized and she lived in fear till 2018. When the case was taken to court, it was revealed that Broglio used to take the girl to his home as well and made her strip down all her clothes before him. He then touched her private parts forcefully. Her screams were silenced by that television's volume, and she was mentally broken by this heinous act of this pervert officer. As the case continued in the court, another child came forward, speaking out about what Broglio did to her as well. She survived the perverted act of this veteran officer. He used to creep her out by watching her shower. She was only 9 years old at that time. Broglio showed aggression towards women in general. He attacked 3 of his ex-girlfriends. They all suffered severe physical injury. He used to hit them repeatedly and broke the nose of one of his ex-girlfriends. They all came forward after hearing about the case where he molested a minor. They were all happy that finally the world got to see the real face of Broglio. The acts of Broglio did not suit that of a police officer. He has to treat people with respect and make sure that they are living life safely, but instead, his predator behavior was shown to the minors. He targeted them and molested them for years. He held a 9-year-old girl at gunpoint and molested her brutally. When the decision of the court was declared, everyone was beyond shocked. They never expected Broglio to walk free. Well, he was not fully free, but the court ordered a house arrest that too paid leave from his job. The court turned a blind eye to his wrongdoing. He was overjoyed as he thought that he escaped the prison, but fate had another plan. After a long legal battle, Broglio got the punishment he deserved. He was sentenced to jail. He would serve life in prison. Broglio never expected to receive such a punishment. He thought that he could evade the law of the country and take advantage of many other children. None of his plans worked, and you can see the aggression and disappointment on his face. The prosecution lawyer Natalie Cinder called Broglio a dangerous person, and the world agrees with her. He could hurt a lot of girls if he roamed around freely with the power of a police officer. Broglio never apologized to the survivors. He had no remorse, and he stood there in court being proud of his deeds. He was given several opportunities to apologize, but he refused every single one of them. He didn't want to show that he regrets it. On number 2, we have the Timothy Sadler Jr. Polk County Police Department received a call from a mother of a 9-year-old to file a complaint regarding the inappropriate photos she found in her daughter's phone. The mother was beyond shocked when she found nude photos of a man in her 9-year-old child's phone. She wanted to file a complaint as soon as possible and find out the sender. The Polk County Department didn't have to spend time investigating, as they soon realized that the criminal they were looking for was one of them, but an officer of another department. They couldn't believe that such a person was working for the state to ensure safety. Well, he was not in his right mind and forced a 9-year-old to send her nude photos. What kind of police officer would say such a thing? Sadler met the child on an interactive online game platform. The Wolf was the game they played, and Sankey talked to her in the name of Jade, an 11-year-old kid. The poor child didn't realize the trap she was setting foot on. Sadler planned to get nude photos from her and threatened her to meet with him for a sexual encounter. He made a detailed plan step by step, and he just needed to work it out. He created multiple accounts and names to talk with the child and earn her trust. Apart from Jade, Sadler created a profile pretending to be a 31-year-old Jason. He talked to the child, introducing him as a close friend of Jade's father. The child believed him as Jay confirmed that it was her dad's close friend. The child didn't know that behind the screen, it was Sadler who talked to her and not Jade or Jason. Both these people were creations of Sadler, and they didn't exist in real life. Sadler slowly started grooming the girl. He talked through the account of Jade and told the girl that she has a sexual relationship with Jason and it's fun. The girl was uncomfortable at first, but believed the 11-year-old Jade. He started sending pornographic images to the girl from the account of Jason and started talking to get in a sexually explicit way. He thought that she would soon fall into the trap and meet up with him. The 9-year-old survivor started sending her nude photos, and Sadler was happy to see her falling prey to him. He stored all the images to use against her in the future. During this time, he was going to his office and acting as a good police officer. No one suspected him and everyone believed him to be this ideal man. They were all unaware of what he does behind his bedroom walls. The 9-year-old child's older sister found out about the sexually explicit texts and pornographic images Sadler sent her. She informed her mother. She called the police immediately. Sadler was arrested and fired from his job immediately. On number 1, we have Trevor Smith. Trevor Smith was working in the Washington State Patrol. He fell for the sting operation and was caught red-handed. In 2022, Trevor was looking for new prey. That's when he met a mother of 2 who was ready to go into an agreement with Trevor for him to have sex with her 2 children, who were only 6 and 11 years old. Trevor was so happy as he thought he would get 2 children to sleep with that too, with their mother's consent. The undercover female officer, who pretended to be the woman selling her kids, realized that Trevor was a pedophile. The Seattle Police Department wanted to catch pedophiles, and they made the undercover police officer place an ad. Trevor was interested in it and contacted the mother without knowing that it was a sting operation. During the conversation, the undercover police officer asked what he would give her in exchange for abusing her 2 children, to which Trevor replied that she could sexually abuse his 9-month-old son. The police department was shocked to read the text, as they can imagine all Trevor would have exchanged for his son. He was unfit to be a father and shows no mercy to his child. Trevor showed up in a hotel room and the undercover police arranged for him as he thought he would sexually abuse 2 children. He even came to the room with contraceptives, which shows that he was prepared to sexually attack 6 and 11-year-old children. Trevor was fired from his job and was sentenced to 10 years in prison, after which he would be released, but he will be under the supervision of the police for 15 years. Do you think this kind of police officer should be declared unfit for service? Should they be punished brutally? Let us know in the comments.
Saying y'all can't sell.
I don't want to be filmed, so I'm going to ask you to leave.
Hours later.
How you doing?
She kind of filled me in on what was going on. Did she explain to you that they can't sell baby formula once they return it?
After she already did.
Okay, time to go.
So if it's
and
against
you're banned
the law,
from here. They don't want you back in here.
Okay.
So if you come back, what's your name?
You don't need my name.
Oh yeah, I do.
You sure you know the law?
Yes, sir. I think I know the law.
Okay.
In this incident, a citizen engaged in a heated encounter with 2 police officers over his refusal to provide his identification. The encounter began when the officers approached the individual and asked for his name. The citizen, asserting his knowledge of the law, questioned the officer's authority to request his identification without reasonable cause.
So what's happening? I really don't want to talk about it now because you.
That's fine.
You.
I've been what?
You breaking my constitutional rights, sir.
Oh, I am. Okay.
I promise you are.
Okay.
But I just like you don't want to explain to me, I'm not gonna teach you. You should already know these things. So.
The younger officer, seemingly more informed about citizens' rights, attempted to explain to the older officer why the individual was not legally obligated to provide his name.
They'll try to get you to put your hands on him. They'll try to get you to put him in trust. I know, Pete. Just listen. But if you call it a disturbance, I understand completely. But their goal is they want
check him for warrants.
No, you're breaking my constitutional rights by threatening to take me to jail for not giving you my name when I haven't committed a crime.
The citizen expressed his frustration with the older officer for attempting to infringe upon his constitutional rights and accusing him of breaking the law.
See, you're the one wanting to cause trouble, not me.
No, I don't. Yeah. I would have just left. But you thought I didn't know what I was talking about. You thought you was just going to break my constitutional rights.
They wanted you gone. I want to ban you. I want to run your
That's
ID.
That's fine. I ain't broke a law, though.
And didn't let you go.
I ain't broke.
Since now you want to stay and you want to wait for my supervisor to come and talk to you, we're going to stay here and we're going to wait on him.
He going to come talk to you. He ain't coming to talk to me, buddy.
He's going to talk to you.
All right.
The younger officer acknowledged the citizen's concerns and emphasized the importance of de-escalation. As the conversation unfolded, the older officer initially insisted that the citizen was being detained and would have to wait for a supervisor. However, once the younger officer clarified that the citizen was not required to show his ID, the older officer changed his stance and expressed a desire to leave. The citizen pointed out the inconsistency in the officer's behavior, highlighting how the officer had initially claimed he was being detained but now was ready to depart.
He came in and barged in on me like I don't know my rights and I ain't got none at all. So,
but you know, there's constitutional rights, there's federal law, and then you got state law.
Nothing
too,
trumps
right?
those constitutional rights, sir. Nothing. Okay. You should know that.
Okay.
Just in case you have to, just in case you lose your badge, you should understand that your constitutional rights.
Hey, if you got
that's
me
top
here,
dog, buddy.
You got me here, you got me here. But guess what?
But you've been nice, man. Yeah. I appreciate you. I promise, man. So good energy, man.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Have I been ugly? Have you got any money yet?
Any money?
Yeah.
Plenty.
From suing?
Nah, I don't need to do that.
So you have?
Nah, I don't need to sue.
How was I not nice?
I asked him, man. I didn't
ask you your name? Hey, it's all good.
Ask him. He told me I was resisting arrest in front of all these. In front of all these people in Walmart, as if I'm a criminal, man. I was like, man, come on, man. Did you not tell me I had to give you my name?
Huh?
Did you not tell me I had to give you my name?
So here's
no, you said you had to give me. I had to give you my name.
It's hot. I'm gonna sit in my beautiful AC car.
Man, you blessed, man. I got to stand out here and wait on the supervisor, man. It is hot.
The conversation continued with discussions about constitutional rights and the role of law enforcement in protecting the public. The citizen asserted that his constitutional rights were more significant than any potential disturbance at a Walmart store, referencing his right to privacy and freedom from unwarranted searches or detentions. The officers defended their actions, citing a disturbance at the store as the reason for their inquiry.
Because I got stuff I got to do, but you got me detained now.
Well,
so we got each other detained.
Well, you should have came in.
You talk to him, and then I'm out of here.
You should have came with a de-escalating spirit and not the one you in.
Okay.
Me on camera. Unlawful detainment. For what? For what?
Causing a disturbance in Walmart.
I ain't caused no disturbance. I was as quiet as a mouse standing right there.
When you look on my call,
it's on camera.
The signal on the call says a 25, which is a disturbance.
Does that camera lie? Neither does mine.
That's right.
You understand?
But I wasn't here when the disturbance was going on.
You didn't care to be here. You could have got my side.
Because they probably have cameras on the whole thing.
You could have got my side.
Tried to.
No, you didn't.
But you just want to talk about constitutional rights.
Right.
And you want to talk about pot stirring stuff because you're trying to stir a pot.
My constitutional rights is more important than you trespassing me from Walmart for something you ain't even discussed amongst us.
Yeah.
This
is
a private-owned business.
I asked you what your name
I'm the public.
How is it wrong for
I'll pay you
what your name is?
I'll pay you.
How is it?
I live right around the corner. You just ran my name
on here.
You just ran my name. I'll pay my taxes that pay you.
Throughout the interaction, tensions escalated, with the citizen becoming increasingly frustrated with what he perceived as a violation of his rights. The encounter concluded with the arrival of a supervisor who took over the situation. The citizen expressed his desire to have his side of the story heard, but the conversation reached an impasse as the officers maintained their position.
Presley, badge number is 167.
Thank you, sir. He just broke my constitutional right.
Okay. How's that?
Under the threat of arrest, he told me I had to give him my name and I hadn't broken the law.
Yeah. Well,
I just want you to explain to him that.
The incident raises questions about the officer's understanding of citizens' rights and their handling of the situation. The citizen argued that his rights were being violated, while the officers defended their actions based on the reported disturbance. The encounter highlights the need for better training and awareness of constitutional rights among law enforcement personnel to ensure the citizens' rights are respected and protected during interactions with police.
County building. I'm a journalist working on a story on the building and just taking a couple of video of the place and going to the clerks, filing some poll requests, and be on my way.
In this clip from a YouTube channel, a citizen encounters two sheriff's deputies inside a county building. The citizen refuses to provide identification when asked, asserting that it would violate their Fourth Amendment rights. The deputies insist that signing in and providing identification is a requirement to enter the public building.
That's what I signed in as. I'm Erie County. No, thank you, sir.
Yes, that's true.
It's a violation of the Fourth Amendment to violate the Fourth Amendment.
You have to sign in. You have to use your
I did sign in.
Your last name is not Erie County. And show me your ID.
I'm here working as Erie County.
If your last name is Erie County, then you could stay. Come on, let's go.
I'm not leaving.
The citizen argues that he is being asked to sign in and show identification without reasonable suspicion of a crime, and that's a Fourth Amendment violation.
We don't have time to do what you're doing.
Let's go.
I'm not doing anything. Do not touch me. Do not touch me.
They call for a supervisor to come and educate the deputies about the law. The encounter escalates as the citizen questions the deputies' knowledge of the Constitution and their understanding of civil rights.
These guys are violating my First Amendment rights and Fourth Amendment rights. They're impeding my traffic. They're causing illegal detention. They're refusing to put their body cameras on while they're violating my rights. I'm just trying to go to the county clerk's office and record my interactions, which is perfectly legal. You need to explain to them the freedom of the press, First Amendment, in public places.
Despite the citizens' attempts to assert their rights, the deputies persist in their demands for identification. The situation becomes tense as the deputies physically restrain the citizen, leading to accusations of assault and battery. The citizens remain steadfast, advocating for their freedom of the press and the right to document their experience in a public space.
Get ready to do some paperwork.
You're free to leave.
Oh, free to leave, free to stay.
That way.
Free to leave, free to go, free to stay. That's the way it works, guys. If I'm not being trespassed because I'm not doing anything illegal, you guys cannot impede my traffic.
Well, you didn't sign it.
I did sign in. Do you understand that?
No, you didn't.
I signed in. And you guys are going to know very, very, very well. You, especially you. You are going to know who I am very well by the time this is over, my friend. You too. You ignorant sons of... This is what we pay for, guys. These are the sheriffs down here. They just think they can detain people willy-nilly, ID people on demand, to be inside of a public building.
What, you want to be sovereign citizen types?
No, I don't have a badge like that. Those are the sovereign citizens. They can violate people's rights and get away with it and have these big stupid smiles on their faces and shit. Yeah, those are the real sovereign. Look at her. She knows that's the sovereign citizenship. Look at that smile. She can't even hide it. That's real sovereign citizenship right there.
Eventually, the sheriff arrives at the scene. The citizen expresses their concerns about the violation of their civil rights, including the deputy's demand for identification and the refusal of service at the county clerk's office. The sheriff defends the deputy's actions, stating that the situation is being addressed.
Who are you, sir? You're the sheriff of the county? This deputy and that deputy is violating my civil rights. They are also put their hands on me and assaulted me or battered me unlawfully because they do not have a lawful command to tell me to turn my camera off in this public space. You know that as a sheriff. I'm here to document my experience, and these guys are stopping me, causing illegal detention on my rights.
It doesn't look like you're being detained to me.
All right, thank you.
However, the citizen continues to argue that their rights have been violated.
You are violating the First Amendment rights and refusing service down here. That's all I want to know. You say yes?
Why don't we get a hold of the clerk's office and see if they want to see you?
Do the clerks have a choice who they get to see and don't get to see? When did that law come into effect?
They're down there talking to her right now.
I understand, but why is this door locked, Sheriff? Why? Sheriff, why is this door locked?
If
they're gonna allow public services to public, what is going on here? You guys are violating my rights.
There's no rights being violated.
There's no rights being violated? I can't go to the county clerk's office because of why? Because of the camera?
I'm get there at some point.
When you educate your officers about my First and Fourth Amendment rights, they think they can get ID out of me to come into a public building. Do you agree with that, Sheriff? Sheriff, do you have to show ID to get into this public building? Do you have to show your driver's license? I did write my name down there, who I am.
Throughout the clip, the deputies display a lack of knowledge about constitutional rights and demonstrate a dismissive attitude towards the citizens' concerns. The encounter sheds light on the need for better education and training within law enforcement regarding citizens' rights and the importance of respecting those rights during interactions. The clip concludes with the announcement that the sheriff involved is retired and the failure of the department in handling the situation was exposed in local news coverage. The citizens' resilience in standing up to harassment and bullying is commended, and the clip serves as a reminder of the significance of holding law enforcement accountable for their actions. In the incident, Anthony X, a knowledgeable individual, engaged in a confrontation with patrol officers who approached him while he was recording in a public area.
Am I detained?
You're detained for reasonable suspicion right now, okay?
Of what crimes? Is that a misdemeanor or felony?
I believe it's a misdemeanor right now.
Anthony X asserted his rights and cited California Penal Code 148G and the Tom Bain Civil Rights Act to emphasize that his filming activities were protected by law.
The camera walking around, you have no right to detain me. Just so you know, if you interfere with my activity in any way, shape, or form, you will be in violation of California Penal Code 148.G and the Tom Bain California Act, which you can lose your qualified immunity. I will sue you personally. 152.2 subsection B. Okay. Think your words wisely. Okay. Once again, am I free to go? Am I free to go?
He firmly stated that the officers had no right to detain him and warned them about potential legal consequences for interfering with his constitutional rights. After asserting his freedom to go, the officers acknowledged that he was not being detained.
It's public. I've never been trespassed from this area. I've never been in a secured area. All right, do me a favor, and I'm open to a cordial conversation. Since I'm not detained at this moment, I have no problem.
You're free to go.
At this point, no, I'm just curious. So, okay, so I'd like the incident number, please. I will be doing a FOIA request on all information and body cam.
Anthony X requested the incident number and expressed his intention to submit a Freedom of Information Act request for all relevant information and body camera footage. The incident highlighted the importance of citizens' awareness of their rights and holding law enforcement accountable for respecting those rights.
Sorry?
That's not the way this goes. Who are you?
I'm Sergeant Barry Antis, Fort Wayne Police Department. How are you?
Good.
What's your name?
I didn't give it.
I know. I want to know what your name is.
I don't care what you want.
Well,
that's not the policy.
The Secret Service.
I don't care. Then why don't they come out here and talk to me?
They will in a moment.
Okay, go ahead. Am I being detained?
What's your name?
Am I being detained?
What is your name?
Am I being detained?
Throughout the interaction, the citizen emphasized his rights and challenged the officers to justify their actions. He adamantly refused to comply with their demands, aware that his rights were being infringed upon. The citizen recognized the importance of knowledge about local laws and confidently navigated the situation using legal citations to support his arguments.
Nope.
All right, stop.
No. Am I being detained?
Yes, you are being detained.
Am I being detained?
Identify who you are.
That's not the way this goes.
Well, I don't care what you think.
Okay. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. I'm not.
Sir,
no.
The Secret Service has
I don't
asked
care.
us to identify
I don't
you.
care what they want.
Okay.
That's not the way this goes.
I understand that.
Show me the law.
The incident shed light on the issue surrounding law enforcement officers' reliance on ID requests without reasonable cause. The citizen demonstrated the significance of understanding one's rights and the laws governing such encounters. By standing his ground and refusing to provide identification when it was not required by law, he effectively challenged the officer's authority and highlighted their lack of legal justification. This citizen's actions underscore the importance of citizens being informed about their rights and the laws governing law enforcement encounters. His knowledge and assertiveness in the face of an overzealous response from the officers served as a powerful reminder of the need for accountability and adherence to proper protocols and law enforcement practices.